up, my babies? Welcome to the Demigodest YouTube channel. If you are new, please make sure you subscribe so you never miss a video from me. I'm going to be doing a Twisted Metal series review. I looked up on this series. I literally was just on Peacock one day and I was like, you know what? Let me go on Peacock. Let me see what's going on. I wanted to watch like a movie, but then it popped up on the advertisement section. And I do like the main character, okay? Because I've watched him in the Marvel movies playing what was his role? The Falcon. Okay, so his name is Anthony Markey. So I really like not Markey, Mackie. I really like Anthony Mackie. He kind of reminds me of my dad in a way. So I really like him and I just want to support him. Okay. I really like this series. I thought I wouldn't have liked it. Like the first episode, I'm not even gonna lie. The first episode, I was like, what is this? So the series takes it's based off of like a post it's a apocalyptic and post-apocalyptic fiction. Okay. It's only one season. And literally what Anthony Mackie does in the series, he always ends up in some craziness. So he is called the milkman. So the milkman drives around. They are not like claimed by a city or a sanction or anything, and they drive around and deliver packages from these different sanctions where these people are, and the sanctions are like communities that is like protected. And they didn't really get so much in detail about like what qualifies you to be in a sanction, but my assumption would be if you like had a place of residence in the sanction, I think that's where you're claimed, right? They didn't do a really good job really explaining that, but this is just my assumption. I'm assuming it is. And he drives around and then he meets Quiet, who is Stephanie Baritz. Okay, and here is the cast, by the way. I'm just looking at all their pictures. Okay, and she is crazy. They have like a rough ride and um coming together. First they weren't working together. She was really putting him in dangerous situations, and then he was putting her in dangerous situations. And it's really interesting how it's kind of like polar opposites attract each other, and then they start to have feelings for each other and vice versa. I mean, what apocalyptic series or movie is made that you don't have a love interest? I mean, there's always a love interest, but honestly, to me, who really, really, really did their best is Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe plays Sweet Tooth, which is this character. I love Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth is my favorite character in this series. He is a clown that literally you find out towards the end of the season that oh, by the way, I should have said I might do a spoiler alert. I'm sorry. So I'm not gonna tell you guys everything. But anyways, you shouldn't be on here if you don't want to get a spoiler alert. Okay. So if you don't want to get a spoiler alert, exit now. But give me a thumbs up before you exit and share my video. Um so he just steals my like he's just that wacky. He brings like a wacky version of like killer clowns, but a mentally ill type of vibe. And it's really fascinating how they tie in his story. So I'm not going to go super in detail with it, but just pay attention from the beginning of the series all the way to the end, because it's going to tie in together. Because I wasn't confused, but I was just really like, okay, when are they gonna like tell the full story of how he became who he was? But essentially what I can tell you is he has a like mentality of a child, so it's easy for you to manipulate him, but he also is very dangerous at the same time, and he just brings like this innocence of being an adult but also like mentally ill, and then like the killer aspect. So it's just really, really good. And then for Anthony Mackie, who plays John Doe, that's his character, by the way. He just it's kind of interesting seeing him in this role, kind of. it definitely is showing his talent. He could play a very serious role. He could play a role that, isn't super serious, that he kind of gives off airhead in the series. But also, too, it's kind of interesting when you find out his story. He wasn't raised by adults. And so him and Sweet Tooth kind of have similarities. Sweet Tooth, was raised like in a mental asylum, and you guys have to watch the series to unpack that. Um, It'd be really interesting on season 2 how he got out of the mental institution, by the way. But anyway, so John Doe, who is Anthony Mackie or whatever, he essentially, like, he doesn't know what happened to his family. He doesn't know what happened to his sister. He doesn't know what happened to his mother, his father. But you do kind of see what happens, but not in its entirety, like what happened to them, like completely. But you do get to see part of the story starts to piece in towards the very end. I believe it's like the last episode. So I do love the writing in this series because it's not something that I would typically watch. It definitely is an exciting thing. It definitely is. It's kind of dumb, but at the same time, it's serious. Because this is literally how people would act if we're being real. If there's ever like an apocalypse, I definitely could see humans doing that, just based off of how people reacted during COVID. Um, so I definitely see that. I definitely see how there was like abuse of people during the apocalypse as well, violence during the apocalypse as well. It's very realistic at the same time, and it's just really beautifully written. I would have never thought I would watch something like this because it is a comedy at the same time as well. Like, just the writing, the writers on here is amazing, and the acting as well, because writers could write, they could be the most beautiful writers in the world, but really it's the talent that brings the characters to life. So they casted this cast perfectly. And it'll be amazing to see the role of Naive Campbell, who is called Raven, who is the sanction that John Doe wants to live in. So I'm not going to tell you in detail the deal that they have, but it'll be interesting to see how her character evolves, because she starts to pop up here and there, like towards the middle and then the end, and just seeing the built up of her character. I would love to see that. I'm not gonna lie, I loved when Agent Stone died. Spoiler alert. He dies. If you guys are watching it, I'm sorry. I don't like him. I feel like it's important to have a law enforcement, but let's not create a law enforcement vibe that is what is in the present day today. We're in an apocalypse. I don't care about you being racist. I don't want you to be racist. There's no reason to be racist. We're all fighting to survive at this point. We all need each other at this point. So I was happy when they didn't kill him, but he ended up killing himself. They ended up hurting him. He was going to die eventually, but I love it. But some kind of way, I feel like he's going to come back. I don't know why. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Um, if I had to rate the series, especially coming from someone that doesn't really like this type of, writing style and genre, I literally would give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was fantastic. I think it's something that you guys should watch. It's something you guys should unpack. This is stuff that is realistic in a sense, but just bought with humor, and comedy and, seriousness all together, and also unpacking, like mental illness, and also um just child development issues as well. Because the relation that I wanted to tie in, that I don't think I finished my thought earlier, is Sweet Tooth and John Doe. The relation, they were not raised by their parents. You'll find out like John Doe literally like was abandoned in a sense, and not like purposeful, but like he was abandoned in a sense. So um they have a relation there. I just love Sweet Tooth. He's my favorite. I'm a little bit biased. I do like John Doe too. I do like Quiet as well. I hate when they fight. It gets on my nerves because I'm like, do you guys like each other or you don't like each other? Are you gonna be cool together or you're not gonna be cool together? Like, what is it gonna be? So I really like it. I think you guys should watch it. Okay. Acting skills, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Um, budget. It was definitely budget. They have a big budget. Okay, big budget. Do I see them having a season 2? I really hope they have a season 2. I just learned today they have a video game, so it'll be really interesting. Maybe I'll do a little bit more research and see like how the video game is compared to the series. But it's a really, really good show, and I recommend you guys doing it. I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I will be doing another review. I will be doing the reviewing the Continental, so stay tuned to that. And I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Let me know how you feel. And I'll see you guys next time. Love you so much. Peace and blessings.